Welcome to another edition of whatever the hell we're going to end up calling this.
the podcast.
The title's the whole thing. I'll tell you about it later.
Sure.
Yeah. So that tall bald guy that's usually joining me, he's indisposed. So
Very
I'm
bald.
joined by by another friend of mine today, and we are going to try out Guinness Extra Stout versus our own regional microbrewery. Well, it's not really a microbrewery anymore.
Fucking no.
Deschuttes, they're offering the Obsidian Stout, and we're going to see how the microbrewery does against the classic. So, let's get after it.
Yeah.
Before you die of thirst over here.
Sure. Yeah.
Alright. Let's see if you can pour beers better than Michael. To your good health.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What a classic. What a classic.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
So, here's what we decided to start doing. The good beers. Don't read the bottle. Try and release your inner beer snob and see if you can describe the flavor as you're supposed to taste it.
Do you want me to give like the stout like everyone says chocolate or coffee? Those are like the two.
Just see, release your inner beer snob and try and see what you can actually taste. And then we look at the bottles and see how right we are.
Sure. Okay.
Now, I am kind of cheating because technically I read them last night when I picked them up, but I can't remember, so.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Fair. Oh.
So you were just making fun of it, but I'm gonna say yeah, like a dark chocolate
Yeah.
vibe.
That's the stout thing. Like I'm making fun of
But
it.
it varies. It varies.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. But
Like I'm a big fan of coffee flavors.
yeah. Like what do they call them? Like dark flavors? I don't know. Whatever. The chocolate like coffee angle.
Yeah, that is. I'm getting a lot of dark chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting dark chocolate, and I'm getting that noticeable classic hop bitterness.
Not like IPA,
Oh God, no.
but it has an edge.
But you know how some like stouts and ales, there's hops in them, of course, but
Sure.
you can't actually taste them. Like
Yeah.
all they seem to do is balance out the beer.
Yeah.
So what about you? What do you get?
I'm getting
Walk me through it.
like a it's like a toasty like grain flavor. It's like malt. Oh, I want to say it's not actually malt. I don't think, but it's like a toasted.
Oh yeah, it would be.
It would be malt. Okay, yeah, malt flavor.
In fact, you're 100% accurate.
Okay.
Technically, because they do get all of these flavors, these chocolate, coffee, whatever.
Right.
They get all of these flavors from roasted barley malt.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but your toasted grain thing is technically spot on accurate because that is what they use to get
Fair.
these flavors.
It tastes. I like malt a lot. I like. I was gonna say malt shakes. I haven't had one in ages, but like malt stuff in general, I think is really good tasting. And malt alcohol.
I think malt. You just saying malt milkshakes?
Yeah.
I think those are entirely different.
No, they put malt. It's the same thing. Malted shakes and stuff. I'm pretty sure
But they put barley malt in.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy. I don't think so. I might be, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I'm pretty sure there isn't barley malt in the malt.
I'm gonna have to look this up later. I'm pretty sure it's a real thing.
That's tasty.
Yeah, that is good. I mean,
It's Guinness.
it's Guinness. Yeah.
That smooth goes down nice. All right. So I'm gonna read out the thing.
Okay, read it out.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna say chocolate for sure.
Intense, characterful, and bold. Guinness Extra Stout is the pure expression of our brewing legacy. Bittersweet, with subtle hints of hops, dark fruits, and caramel.
Caramel, what the fuck?
This
Oh.
stout is a testament to great brewing.
Okay. What?
So that's what we're supposed to be. Dark fruits. I don't know what they mean by dark fruits. I've seen that on a lot of.
I don't know.
It is.
Well, it's bean, but this comes from a fruit. kick out.
So it's technically a fruit.
Whatever, sure. It's all bullshit.
they say dark fruits alike. I see that a lot on beer labels for darker beers.
Sure.
And caramel.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. To me, I'm getting dark chocolate. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
The bittersweet thing adds up. Because it is kind of sweet, but it's got that...
Bitter, I mean, I was going to say edge, but just straight on, it's bitter. Look at that really an edge.
Well, that's why I say classic hop bitterness. Sure. It's not, citrusy or, piney or...
God. I had back in the day when I was in high school, my brother's friend, he looked old, right? So, back in the day, you were able to go to convenience stores because,
Not all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, most, I would say, and be able to buy beer. Because
my main one was the one down the street that shall remain nameless so they don't get fucked with. But that was my main one. I would just, after the construction job, I would just keep the old Carhartt jacket on.
It's been a rough day at work.
Just getting off my shift.
Yeah. But anyways, my brother's friend, he was like, I guess he was like 19 or 18 at the time. He was able to go and like just buy a pack of whatever bullshit they had and drink it, right? And it was some awful thing. I think it was called like Hop Maiden IPA or something. It was like the worst thing. It was like dirt cheap.
Oh god, yeah.
Bitter, and so it's like citrus notes. But it just tasted like eating a skunk's ass. Like, it was like, it was so bad. I couldn't finish the fucking, the 12-ounce thing. I had to, gag it down. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, there's no shortage of microbreweries that go too overboard with the hops.
Yeah, it's just like a challenge at this point. It's like, how bitter can you make your beer?
So, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why we are drinking this Guinness and not the famous Guinness Draught.
I'm curious as well. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna get into my boring informational bit right now.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I'm curious.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Stout. First of all, what is Stout? It originated from porter. So porter came around first.
Okay.
Now that was created in England in 1722, and it's actually a very interesting story behind porter. But to keep this relatively short and sweet,
sure,
I'm gonna gloss right over it. Porter is, as you would imagine, a robust dark beer. It was the classic version back in the day was highly hopped, and it was allowed to age for could be up to 6 months. It got big in England and eventually moved on to other parts of Europe and became popular in Ireland. The founder of Guinness, Arthur Guinness, for the first almost 20 years of his brewery, he only brewed ales. And then when porter started to become popular in Dublin, he took a chance and started trying to brew porter. Yeah, as in the 1770s that he first started brewing porter, and they brewed it stronger than the typical English porter, and they called it extra stout porter.
Ah.
And so Guinness is actually the founder of stout. They are the original. They are the first. Stout was created by Guinness in Ireland when they started making stronger versions of porter and calling them extra stout porter.
That's awesome.
And eventually, they dropped the porter name and they just started calling the beer stout. The recipes changed a lot over the years. And actually, the reason we're not drinking Guinness Draught is, first of all, because the Deschuttes beer that I've got is just in bottles, and I figured the nitrogen canister in the Guinness Draught cans would give it a definite leg up. So this would give the Deschuttes more of a fighting chance.
More equal
so
footing.
That's part of it. But the other reason is this, according to the Guinness website, this Guinness Extra Stout is based on a recipe from 1822. So it's not their first go at porter, but it's when Arthur Guinness II set set the ground rules and specific instructions for how to brew his superior porter.
Okay.
Stout.
Sure. Right.
And so this is then the closest thing we can get to the original stout from the very company itself that created the beer.
Okay.
So that's why we're drinking Guinness Extra Stout, because this is pretty damn close to the original.
I knew that like Guinness was like the classic, but I didn't realize it was legitimately the stout.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
they literally created stout.
Huh.
They were the ones, and there's quite a mix. I should also mention real quick. So what's in a stout? It's still mostly pale 2-row barley malt.
Sure.
That's where all the sugar in the food for the yeast comes from. But generous helpings of roasted barley, because all barley they let it in the malting process. They let it germinate a little bit, and then they dry it at higher temperatures to stop the growing process of the barley seeds. And that's how you get the sugars. They have to germinate a little bit.
Right.
So that's how you get the sugars for alcohol. And so they're all dried at slightly higher temperatures, but pale barley malt is dried at a low enough temperature, nothing happens to the barley other than it dries out and ceases to continue germinating.
Right.
If they roast it at higher temperatures, makes it way more flavorful. Also, it burns off a lot of the sugars.
Sure.
So if you used only barley malt, roasted barley malt, first of all, it would probably taste like drinking the ashes of a campfire, because it would be so intense. I mean, it's
like drinking coffee grounds.
It's in this dark black, like you can't even see light through it. In this dark black stout, it's probably something like 9% roasted barley. The majority is still just pale barley malt.
Right. Oh, wow.
So easily 20% of the malt used to brew this beer is still just pale barley malt that would produce
and it's still that dark.
Beer. And it's still, a little bit goes a long way with the roasted malts.
I believe it. That's wild.
So yeah, that's a very oversimplification of what is in stout and why it is like that.
Sure.
But yeah, that's why we're drinking this guy specifically, because it is
the stout.
pretty close to the original stout.
Probably you make little improvements over time too.
Well, I'm sure it's different.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's different then, but it's based on the recipe from 1822.
Okay.
I'm sure they tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the recipe from 1822 is different than the original extra stout porter that they started brewing in the late 1770s.
It's you're making constant tweaks and improvements.
Yeah.
Or you're automating.
But I just what I was reading up on stouts yesterday, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That is
cool.
This is the original.
I always knew it was like the classic stout, but
Guinness
stout.
Guinness started it all. And the Guinness draught wasn't even invented until I may have said that already, but it wasn't even invented until 1959, and that's when they figured out how to mix the nitrogen and carbon dioxide to give it that epic head and the creamy texture but yeah, it's a different recipe entirely.
Sure.
So
wow.
Okay, there I got a little bit of glugage. There we go. That's
Woo.
a nice little head.
Oh yeah, look at
Oh shit. This one sneaks up on you. You think
does.
it's not going to do anything, and then all of a sudden you get that. That's real nice right there. That's what you want. All right. So same thing. I don't know why I'm putting this over here already.
I almost did too. I was like,
Same thing. Let's.
okay, same thing. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna try our beers, and then we're gonna try and see what we're getting
Cheers.
before we check the thing. Cheers.
Oh, it does taste different.
Yes. Now I'm gonna need another sip of that. I needed to cleanse my palate with the first sip.
That's fair.
See here.
That's fair.
Nope. It's only more.
Oh, I'm having a hard time putting a finger on that.
Now, see, the reason I like this so much is I'm getting some coffee.
Yeah, that okay. It's less like chocolate and more like coffee almost. Like
Yeah,
the dark flavor.
And I am a big fan. There's a company called Murphy Stout, and they do their stout has a nice coffee flavor, and I just really like coffee in general. But I really like that coffee flavor in my stouts.
Yeah.
And although I know for a fact, because I've bought this a bunch of times, that it's got a generous helping of hops, I'm not getting any hops at all. Like no hop flavors. Like I can actually taste the hops in the Guinness.
Yeah. It still has a little bitter edge, but it's not as like a hop. It's not as hop bitter. Like it's not as obvious.
I mean, maybe that bitterness comes from the hops.
Yeah, I'm sure
but
it doesn't. Yeah, but it's not as obvious.
Yeah, it's like I'm not tasting hops. I'm getting like a coffee espresso flavor.
Still not tasting the caramel. I don't know where the hell Guinness got that from. Caramel. I did not taste caramel. It's more like a front flavor. I don't know, like the tip of the tongue flavor more than the Guinness was to me as well. I don't know how to explain that.
Well, like it's more assertive.
Yeah. I don't know. It's less malty, I'll say. It tastes a little less malty.
I'm gonna say it. I'm pretty much just getting coffee flavors out of this one.
It's coffee. I mean, it's coffee in the context of beer.
Yes.
Right? It's not like literal coffee.
But as far as like flavors that are jumping out at you.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
All right.
It's like a charred coffee.
Let's see what it says.
Yeah, what do we got? What's the description?
So we're right on the first part here. Explore this bold stout's notes of espresso and dark chocolate to experience an award-winning ale for the ages.
Sure.
I guess they won awards. Well, look at that. We're 50% right.
Well, chocolate is like, if you're doing dark chocolate, at that point, like, it's just bitter, you know.
It kind of tastes like coffee.
It kind of tastes like coffee at that point, so either one.
Well, I guess that could be it. The dark chocolate, because it doesn't. I mean, obviously, it doesn't taste exactly like coffee.
Well, it's beer.
It's a lot more rich than a coffee would be.
Sure,
right? I don't know if it's. I guess we'll find out when we drink them back to back whether this is as full bodied.
I have a feeling it's not.
As the stout, as the Guinness.
Yeah, my impression right now is it's not as full bodied, and the Guinness tasted like it had more going on, like flavor profile wise. This is pretty like straightforward, you know.
Yeah.
It just tastes like espresso, like it said. Yeah, I don't know. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just what it is.
I like that.
Okay, fair.
Because
fair. No, I get it.
When it comes to my stouts and porters, I'm a whore for that coffee flavor. I am.
Oh my God.
I love it. I'm curious, Connor. Have you seen that newest James Bond movie yet?
No, I haven't. No, I went. Literally, I've gone to the movie theater since COVID. Twice now, and both times were for the new Dune movie. So I went last Friday with my brother Neil and my cousin Max, and then once before that, I went with my folks. So that's all I've gone to the theaters for.
So in this James Bond movie, the newest one, this is Daniel Craig's last one.
Okay. Oh,
he's not doing them anymore.
Good.
Well, he's like 53.
Yeah, he's old.
He's getting pretty old.
Let him retire.
He's starting to get into like Liam Neeson territory.
Yeah.
Where it's getting hard to take him seriously.
Sure.
But in the movie, he's retired. That's how it starts, anyhow. And one of the other main characters in the movie is a female agent who got the number 007.
Oh, weird.
And they don't know who's going to be the next Bond, but of course, just because there was this character, I can't remember what her name was in the movie, or the actress's name for that matter, but because there was this female agent who got the number 007 after he retired, and she was a main character in the movie, that immediately got all these like, I don't even know if they're what to call them. They're not news because they report on celebrity nonsense.
Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Reactionary.
So they're all thinking they put out articles about who's going to be the next James Bond. It's really just them guessing.
Yeah,
But they were theorizing that maybe it was a subtle way to say that the next James Bond is going to be a woman. Now, here's the thing. I think that could be a great idea.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay, throw it at me.
The next James Bond should be a woman because in today's climate, that's the only way you're going to get a classic Sean Connery level of sexual harassment in
Yes!
the movie.
Yes, I was gonna say.
She's got to be a lesbian, and at least
Yeah.
once or twice in every movie, she has to blackmail straight girls into sleeping with.
100%.
Right?
100%. I was gonna say that she's gonna be clam fishing. You know?
Yeah, just then it would be way more acceptable.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's a woman, so it's okay.
I'd love that. Do it. Fuck it.
I don't know. I've watched some of those. I've rewatched some of the old Sean Connery James
Oh,
Bond. They're
yeah.
great movies.
Yeah, they are.
But
They're
rapey is the wrong word.
They're a product of their times.
Yeah,
You know?
Did you ever watch Thunderball?
I don't think so.
The dude straight up blackmails women into sleep with him. Yeah, and she should still do that ridiculous accent too. It's like, I suppose my silence could come at a price. Right? Just fucking. Seriously, straight up just blackmails women into sleeping with them.
So bad.
There's a great scene where he breaks into a woman's house and walks into her bathroom while she's taking a bath. And when she asks him if he can grab her something to wear, he leaves the room and comes back a moment later with a pair of shoes. I think this was in the 60s, but you could never get away with that shit today. Unless it's a woman doing it to another woman. So, yeah, female James Bond.
Are we doing... Okay, new glasses.
Oh, no, we're doing both at the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
It's the only way to truly decide which is the better brew.
Even though we did... Oh, whatever.
This has been our system.
Oh, yeah.
It's also just fun to drink this much
Why
in a short amount of time.
Why not? Yeah.
It's not a lot. It's only 4 beers, but you do 4 beers in an hour, and then you're cruising.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got tall glass was Deschuttes. That's right. The other glass
Is Guinness?
Guinness.
Yeah, same. Okay.
Now, already, I didn't get as much head as you on the first 2 there. The Guinness head looks like it's holding longer.
Yep. I think for me, it's a hard comparison because I just poured too much head. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers. Which one's that?
Guinness.
That one's Guinness.
Yours is Guinness as well, right?
This one's Guinness, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Guinness?
No.
Huh?
I don't know.
They're both holding a bit of foam at the top.
They are actually. Yeah.
And it just sort of stays there, which is pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
Rather than just a flat, watery substance.
Sure.
Once your head fully dissipates.
Yeah.
So we're both in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
I've noticed now, I'll see some 40-year-old actresses, or even comedians for that matter, and just go, you're some 40-something, you know, and just go, fucking, I would.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
I do it.
Better looking than I am now. I mean, fucking, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a wild world out there.
Not that they would, but
right. In theory, theoretically.
In theory, I would. In a heartbeat. Fucking Sarah Silverman's in her late 40s now. She's still hot as fuck. I mean, I just mentioned, like, Jennifer Aniston's in her 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, she's almost as old as her parents.
Yeah.
But she's still hot. Like, what do they put? See, I understand.
What do they put in the water?
I understand where the whole adrenochrome conspiracy thing comes from, because how else do you explain that? Like, look at normal people.
Money, probably.
Yeah. I'm in my 20s now. I'm already starting to get, like, the lines in the forehead and whatnot. And,
Michael's balding already.
yeah, Michael's already bald.
Tragic.
Yeah, we're all a mess. And then you look at these actresses, and probably the actors. I just haven't paid as much attention.
Right, it's fucking
and you look at these actresses, and it's just like you people do not fucking age at all.
It's messed up. Man.
It's gotta be like fucking
lizard people scale technology.
The fucking spinal fluid of fetuses or whatever the thing.
Wasn't that actually a thing? I swear to God, that was a real thing.
No, I think that's the thing. I forget what adrenochrome is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Something like they torture kids and they get like a stay young syrup out of them somehow.
They milk them like maple
I
trees.
never looked into that conspiracy. I just know. I'm just saying I can see why people are curious as to what the fuck's going on in Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, how do you look that bangable at 50 and you're not killing innocent people?
It's either human sacrifice or having a lot of money. It's one or the other.
More likely it's the lot of money thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's personal trainers, chefs, and Botox.
Plastic surgery. Yeah.
Wrapping it up. Which way you leaning?
I think I'm leaning Guinness. I'm gonna be real with you. I like the. I don't mind. I do not mind the
Deschuttes.
the Obsidian Stout from Deschuttes. I think it's good. I drink it. I think the Guinness's flavor is just better. It's got more going on.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Got what, fucking 150 years of making this shit? 130 years?
Well, I think you said it best the first time. The Guinness has more going on.
Yeah, it just does.
Now, I really like the Deschuttes because, as I said earlier, I am a whore for that coffee flavor in stouts. I really enjoy it. But I would describe this one as more well balanced.
Yeah.
You can you're getting some of the hops. You can actually taste the hops. Not to a bad point at all. But there's some of the hops there. There's some of that. Jeez.
Full body.
I'm saying dark chocolate. They say dark fruits. That's
fucking whatever.
Dark fruits and caramel is what they say. I'm getting like dark chocolatey vibes.
I think the description's flowery bullshit, but I think the flavor is,
yeah. But yeah, there's more going on. I'd say it's a more well-balanced beer. If you want a beer that pretty much tastes like espresso, Deschuttes is your one to go for. But who would have thought? I think we're going to go with the company that's actually created.
That literally created,
yes.
Oh, I love that.
I think we're going to go Guinness.
I love that. The classic.